The Cry of Barbarism. José Clemente Orozco was not a painter, but a philosopher of the wall, and his work is an inescapable meditation of human despair and catharsis. To understand his art, we must begin with the wound and the void. Born in Mexico, Zapotlán el Grande, Jalisco in 1883, his consciousness was forged in turbulent Mexico City. In his youth, he absorbed the aesthetic of fatality from José Guadalupe Posada, discovering that art could be a social punch. At age 21, fate struck the blow that would define his style, the loss of his left hand in a powder explosion. This loss was not a tragedy, but an amputation of the easy path of academicism. Having lost a full tool, Orozco was forced to paint with pure will, developing the brutal strength that expressive gigantism nourished by pain. From this lack, he understood the vast, elusive nature of art. Art is something indefinable, even for those who have the capacity to create it. Philosophically, Orozco rejected naturalism for the geometrization of the human figure. His architectural inclination prevailed. The body in his painting is not a soft flesh but heretic, robust, almost stony structure, reflecting the immobility of suffering. Pain becomes an immutable form. With the Mexican Revolution at its peak, Orozco first served as a caricaturist, a graphic reporter of the horror. His brush became a social scalpel, making no concessions. His 1916 exhibition, The House of Tears, exposed corruption and vices with harshness that polite society could not forgive. In this case, he sought an anchor. In 1923, he married Margarita Valladares. This act established a center of gravity in his personal life, allowing him to tackle the social hurricane with internal composure, though with external fury. Joining the muralist movement, Orozco immediately opposed the triumphalist rhetoric at the National Preparatory School, San Ildefonso. He painted the martyr and the traitor instead of glorifying the revolutionary heroes. Murals like the Trench are a vortex of anonymous figures who fall and sacrifice themselves, without a clear flag to justify their death. They are geometries of pain, where diagonals inherited from the Baroque intensify the fall. In the Trench, the postures of the dead soldiers subtly allude to the cross, suggesting that revolutionary death is a sacrifice for ideals, even if those ideals are constantly betrayed. War is a nation's passion and failure. Orozco didn't just paint the subject, he dictated its philosophical destiny. The subject in art is only a means and not an end. His sincerity earned him the attack of vandalism and conservative students, but their correspondence confirmed his mission. His art served a vital purpose. It broke the routine into which painting had fallen. In the end, many prejudices and served to look at social problems from a new point of view. The local hostility forced him into a 7-year exile in the United States. This journey was not a flight, but an elevation of Orozco consciousness from national drama to universal drama. In New York, he painted oils showing the deshumanization of the metropolis. Men dissolved in concrete. The chaos was not the revolution, but the devouring machine. His irony was profound. The real American artists are those who make the machines. Before them, one must uncover. A phrase loaded with admiration for the power of technique and contempt for its lack of human soul. In the US, Orozco received 3 monumental commissions: that allow him to transcend history. Prometheus, Pomona, California. Pomona College in 1930. The titan who brings fire in consciousness, he is not a calm god, but an explosion of colors and force, the burning consciousness that ignites the human soul. He is the myth of free will confronting chaos. The epic American civilization, Dartmouth College, 1932 to 1934. A fierce chronicle, the myth of Quetzalcoatl, the self-exiled god, is constructed with the vision of modern civilization as a skull in a toga. Orozco denounced that barbarism persisted beneath the veneer of culture. In this period, forms and content became inseparable in his mind. In all great art, there is no noble form without noble content. Returning to Mexico, Orozco reached the zenith of his expressive power, concentrated in Guadalajara. Catharsis, 1934, in the Palacio de Bellas Artes. This work is not a painting, but an expressionistic vortex of destruction. Soldiers and machines fall into crimson by abyss. Orozco employed incendiary coloring, similar to German Expressionism, to elevate violence to metaphysical category. The war is a permanent state, and violence is the engine of history. In his final years, Orozco continued to explore the drama of power and tyranny in his canvases, Los Tibuls and later murals, Juárez Reborn. He remained firm in his instance that the essence of the art lay in its ethical, not merely aesthetic content. José Clemente Orozco died in 1949, 4 years after World War II, while working on a new project. His legacy is not a postcard of a happy Mexico, but an invitation to introspection. Orozco was the painter who taught us that the only way to transcend is to have the courage to burn. His work is a system of universal analogies that confront us with eternal human tragedy. His work is, and will remain, the flaming claimer of our consciousness.